Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Carrie Croft Show. I'm your host, Carrie Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. Avena Women's Care is a collective of 40-plus providers that have been serving Central Ohio communities with comprehensive women's health care for decades. They meet women where they are in every phase of life. From fertility services to menopause care, annual checkups to 3D mammography, Avena provides robust services for all. So for the highest level of individualized women's health care, there's one name to remember: Avena Women's Care. Go to www.avenawomenscare.com to request an appointment. Be sure to tell them Carrie sent you. Ready to elevate your self-care game? Boss Gal Beauty Bar is a modern med spa offering everything from cosmetic injectables, lasers and microneedling, to medical-grade facials and skincare. Conveniently located in Clintonville, Grandview, Powell, and Easton, making self-care a priority has never been easier. Use code CROFT for $25 off your first visit. Summer's coming in hot, but is your skin summer ready? Fine lines, sun damage, melasma. If these are cramping your vibe, the Moxie laser at Donaldson will leave you glowing. Nervous about lasering your face? I tried Moxie and it was quick and gentle, perfect for first-timers and all skin types. And my results? 10 out of 10. And if you're a first-timer at Donaldson, mention the Carrie Croft Show for $100 off your Moxie treatment. Don't say I've never done anything for you. That's more of like a broad objective. I think what we have to figure out is what's the first pin on the map that we're going to create in order to start moving forward so you can get that community drawn to you.
I agree 100%. And I'm probably your most challenging client.
No.
Because I have to go down a lot of avenues to find my way.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like my original idea when I was in the shower having my brainstorming moments, because that's where they happen, I really wanted to bring, have kind of like a woman's retreat experience day, whatever. And I think I told you about this.
Yeah.
And then you kind of called it maybe a soft launch type experience. And I think that between loving to host, loving to entertain, wanting to share dialogue with people and open up that door in a comfortable way, that just feels like a purposeful life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I want to start there and then see where the next feeling takes me.
Okay. That's fine.
So crazy.
No, I don't think it's crazy at all.
Planning an experience for maybe it's just my friends at first. Maybe it's 10 girlfriends. And then maybe through that experience and chatting with them, I can see what feels right in my next step.
I like it.
I really, because it's like I want so many things. I want a podcast and I want I want to be making stuff on the side of the road and I want to be talking to people and I want to hug people and I want to do all the things. But it's like I just got to figure out, okay, how do I start?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's like for me, I think, yes, like you're capable of seeing kind of like a big business plan. I'm not capable of seeing that. So I'm like, what I am capable of seeing though is a very, very small dot on the map, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
now you're capable of seeing the dot on the map. We just have to now decide, right? Because I think so many people listening right now would be like, oh my God, that's me too. I want a podcast. I want to build a community. I want to make a difference. I have something to say. I have a light to shine. And then what'll happen is you're like, oh wait, why me? I suck. I'm not good enough. How do I start? And then you have all the, there's all these things. Like you come in here and your first thing you want to do is apologize because you've iterated.
Yes.
Right? So like
Yes.
from meeting to meeting, you're iterating, you're a creative person. And like I told you before, it's part of the flow. But at some point we have to make a decision
Yes.
on the first tangible step. And this is what separates most people. And I'm glad that we're starting with this because most people want to do the things they want to, but they can't figure out how to take that first tangible step. And so that's, I think, going to be where we really need to lean in.
Yes.
In the next couple of months, because I think we've pretty much looked through every corner at this point, right? And I say that lovingly. I want that, especially for someone like you, which we'll get into how we came to be. And you are such a special, beautiful, wonderful creature. I mean, I can't even tell you how much I love you.
Thank you.
But
feel the same.
So you're full of all of that stuff. And so we have to vet it out. Why would we push and try to, make something happen quicker than it's supposed to happen? So where you have seen like, oh, they think I'm crazy, I'm changing my mind, I need to apologize because I feel differently today than I did last week. I feel like good for you because the stuff's coming out. And now I do believe, I think we've got everything on the table. All of the ideas,
You're like, until next week.
Well, I don't know what else you would add.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, because I keep.
No, but I think this last part that you just said about having the retreat and the like, I feel like for you, that's a safe space because, and a lot of people probably should think about, depending on what you're doing, starting that way. Start with your core and this nucleus, the people who love you and they already know who you are. And it's warm and it's welcoming and you sort of show and kind of show and tell. Like this is what I'm thinking about doing, getting the authentic feedback, and then it'll build your confidence in your belief system even a little bit more like, I think it's a great springboard for you to continue on this path that we have started to create.
No,
I'm very excited about.
I 100% agree. And I mean, the coolest thing is seeing how many passions I have because I didn't even know all of this existed. It's, I think it's just a matter of differentiating now between, okay, these are hobbies and these are, this is what I want to do with that hobby to help impact others and grow my own business.
I think that what I'm starting to see take shape is these quote unquote hobbies, or let's call them passions. Those are all going to be aggregated and funneled into this brand that is you. So like, you don't want to say, when you say hobby, it kind of makes it sound like, I mean, these are all really cool gifts that you possess that I think in total, if we put them through, I like to say assembly line, but that sounds too business-esque for you.
It does.
So let them flow through the river. That is your brand. Is that better? So that's what's going to make it so unique, like a fingerprint. It's like it's going to be so you, and you can't rush this. And I have loved every moment of this process with you so far. I mean, loved it. If I could have every engagement feel this way, my cup runneth over.
I know, and I agree, and I think for me, it's been such a learning process of, okay, I like this and I like that and I want this and I want that. And I think it's been good to kind of exhaust all avenues before committing to just one idea or one thing, because truthfully, I just want it all. I want it all. And I want, more importantly, to just become somebody that others look at as a positive person in their life. That's literally all I want, and if that means that we have a good conversation back and forth, if that means that I made you something, if that means you had a good time coming over to my house, that's going to look different for everybody. But I just want to be somebody that positively impacts others.
Well, I think you've already done that, but you'll continue to do that with more people.
Yeah.
All right. So Meghan Goodman.
Hi.
Welcome officially to the Carrie Croft Show.
Thank you, Carrie.
I mean, you're just so cute.
Oh, well.
You really are. No. Look at you. You're all put together and your shirt.
I showered today, so all that helps.
Let's let the folks at home know how the universe brought us together.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I would be curious if I were sitting at home like, wait, how did you guys connect?
And every time I run into somebody that knows you or listens to you, they always say, how do you know Carrie?
Give them the quick and dirty.
Yeah. So I actually was interested in podcasting and kind of knowing more about that world. And I reached out to a friend of mine, Zach Smith. Hey, Zach. And he said, you know, who you really need to get in touch with is Carrie Croft. Have you ever heard of her? I said, no. And he said, well, start listening to her. And I did. And then I quickly realized after one or two episodes or your shows, I thought, okay, I need to like actually connect with this person because she's exactly what I need in my life to kind of get myself to the next level. So I just reached out and you said, jump on my calendar. And I did. And we had a Zoom call and I was super nervous. And it's kind of funny because today I'm really honestly not nervous, which is a really big deal for me.
Growth.
Very big growth. And you just made me feel like you were going to be able to be such a bright light in my life. And we've just connected ever since.
Yeah. So let me take it from there on this part. So we have a Zoom call. You appear on the screen. And it took me like 10 seconds to know. I was like, this girl's special. I knew it. And I'm not just here to take everybody on and blow smoke up people's asses. Like that is a waste of my time and everybody else's. But I know what I know when I see it. And I don't know how best to describe. There's something inside of me that is sort of a recruiter, or I have something inside of me that I can really quickly determine something special and unique in another human being. It's just in me. And so you start talking, I'm looking at the background, I'm just like figuring everything out that's going on. And then how you were kind of self-deprecating and kind of doubting yourself. You just had this whole thing going on where I was like, okay, what is going on with this girl? Like, I love her. I need to know more. Yeah. Well, then what really intrigued me, though, is the fact that you did start a business during COVID that was highly successful. And that was impressive. And it really did kind of push me over the edge initially to want to work with you. Because I'm like, okay, here you have this person who really needs some mindset growth and really needs to believe in that she's as great as she is, which I can definitely help you with that. Yeah. But she also has some business chops because she's done it. Right. And she did it well. Right. But what I really loved is the fact that you had this successful thing you were doing. You decided to stop doing it. Yes. And then instead of even trying to like sell it or do any kind of business type thing with it, you want to keep it. And so you just don't realize how special that is. Like coming from where I sit, no one, like that doesn't happen. And at a minimum, somebody's going to try to like sell that, make some money for your intentions and who you are is they're so pure. Yeah. And you truly do want to like go back and like take the little girl that you were and kind of like be this person now for like you just have a very special thing. Oh, well, so
thank you for seeing that in me, Carrie.
It's true. I mean, and that's why we've had this really, I think so far, just beautiful ebb and flow. And of course with Kate here. Yes, Kate. Adding a really great part to it. So, and just to tee people up who are listening, the engagement that you have with the B Lab right now is like an ongoing consultant. So you're a little bit different than some of the other people I'm working with right now. So I've been able to really kind of have this slow burn opportunity with you to build a brand, but to also help build your internal brand. Yes. And I am so excited right now just to see your confidence and the belief that you have in yourself, because I do believe that no matter who you are, no matter what continuum that you're on right now in this entrepreneurial or life journey, it all starts with belief in yourself. That belief starts to build confidence. Yeah. And then confidence is when you start to build momentum. And without momentum, you can't get the result. Yeah. So you're watching you.
It's so true. It's
watching
so
you
true.
flow through that. Like the business part of this is almost like icing on the cake for me. The internal transformation that I'm watching will always be at the top of my list.
And I think that was probably the biggest and greatest surprise through all of this was that was really what I needed so desperately, and I still continue to need it. And by no way, shape, or form have I finished this process, you know. Right. But just knowing how, I mean, I guess the right word is maybe insecure I was in myself and my beliefs and who I was. And I think that you really made me see myself just you saw myself in a different way, and you allowed me to then view myself from the same kind of lens that you saw me.
Yeah.
And I really needed that.
So let's talk about the first engagement we had, I will always look back on fondly. Just because it was, you were the perfect person for it. But I wanted to kind of shape it up for people at home to understand what it looked like too.
Okay.
So in a situation like this with the B Lab, we would take somebody in a room, which we took you, and we have a whiteboard, and we talk about you and what makes you different, special, what makes you stand out, what are your, but we go deep, right? We talk about quotes from the past. We talk about, we have you do an inspo board that you absolutely crushed and set the bar for.
Yeah.
But I remember you just feeling so seen.
I did.
So just kind of take us back to like that first engagement and how that felt for you.
Well, I think so many times when you're in any sort of relationship, whether it's a business or a personal relationship, all people want to do is be seen. And you have this like really special gift of doing that you did that for me. And it allowed me to feel so comfortable that I could truly like be myself and tell you, okay, this is what I'm really good at. And this is where my talents lie, in a non like boasting way about myself. But then here's where I really struggle. And this is where I need a lot of help. And I didn't feel like that was cutting myself down. I felt like this is just real. This is how I'm structured. This is how I'm wired. And this is where I'm going to really need a lot of hand holding. But let me show you all the things I can also do too. And the fact that you just took the time and genuinely were present to learn that about me, it meant so much, because I don't think we're in such this high-paced, fast world, and everybody's time is so important and valuable to them that sometimes we don't just stop and focus on like that person and really dial into that. But you did. And I think that's why this is becoming so successful and such a positive experience. So thanks for doing that.
No, I mean, thank you for allowing us to do that. And so just to talk to the person at home for a minute. So whether you are searching for like coaching or trying to help, have someone help you build your personal brand or your business brand, don't settle. Because I do think there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of quick, dry courses where you pay for this thing and then they go off into the abyss or whatever. You deserve to have that moment where people have to get to know, especially you have to get to know you. You got, like, from that one engagement, like the things that came out, we got so granular, and we created we're not going to say the name of the brand today.
Yeah.
We're going to keep that under wraps, but we figured out the name of your brand based on a thing that the grandpa hit your husband's grandpa.
Yes.
Like, we went deep into who you are as a person to figure out your brand. I am so over the moon about it. But until you really dig into someone, how are you going to figure out? You're going to go to Canva and like get a template and create someone's. So like, it's never been more important to really sit with someone and figure out like what feels right. Do it right. Build it on, what is being mindful and like actually be present with that person to figure out what makes the most sense. There's so many empty things happening right now.
Right. Exactly.
So to have it, actually be impactful and intentional, I don't know. I
remember one of our first conversations when I was nervous about kind of taking the plunge, mostly because I didn't have the confidence, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to really do? I mean, I do have some talents, but what am I really going to do with these talents? And one of the things I said is, can we just stop and get to know one another? Because I thought once, and I think I told you I'm kind of weird. And I use that word in a loving way because weird is good. But I have different interests than most people, a lot of people. And I just needed you to know that side of me so that you could really figure out, okay, this is how this person is going to operate. And these are the things that kind of make them tick. We started out our relationship doing just that. And I think the vision board really was kind of like, I feel like we skipped so many steps because that checked so many boxes.
Yeah.
But it also was an exercise that I so desperately needed. And it was like, I think I texted you and I was like, oh, I've been like dying for somebody to, I didn't know I was dying for somebody to ask me to do a vision board because I just like laid it all out there. It was just, it's still such a good resource. Like I have it in my office and I look at it often and just reminisce about like what each thing means to me. Anyways, I'm getting a little sidetracked,
No.
but I just genuinely think that once we got to know each other, particularly you getting to know kind of me, that it just, we kind of just like skipped all the bullshit in a sense, you know, we just skipped to the good stuff. I think that really mattered a lot.
Oh yeah. It's, I mean, setting the foundation is everything.
Yeah.
And then watching your reaction to the brand kit we put together was like very exciting.
Oh, I loved that.
You know, like it felt,
I loved that.
you know,
because we spent that time of really, which didn't necessarily feel like business, you know, it felt like a personal thing. But because we took the time to do that, that allowed you guys just nailed my branding kit. I mean, I was just blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think they might know me better than I know myself.
Stress and inflammation take a toll on your body and your wellness. Relax, restore, and rejuvenate at Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique. Book any service of $100 or more and enjoy 2 hours in our luxury amenities. Unwind in our Himalayan salt saunas. Recharge in our wet retreat space with a eucalyptus steam room, hot hydrotherapy pool, and cold plunge. Then drift into deep relaxation with our hanging loungers. What's your panacea? We'll help you find it.
Listen, nobody loves laundry day. But thanks to the Fluff, laundry is officially off your to-do list. Just schedule your pickup on the Fluff app, toss your dirty clothes in any bag you've got, and leave it on your front porch. The Fluff handles the rest, returning your laundry fresh, folded, and in our reusable vinyl bag in just 24 to 48 hours. Flat rate pricing means you stuff the bag full, and yes, pickup and delivery are totally free in Central Ohio. Use promo code CARRY for 20% off your first order. P.S. Ask about our monthly subscription to keep life simple and your laundry done.
Who says you need a special occasion to feel like a celeb? I mean, stress is real. Life is busy. And your scalp? Yeah, it deserves some love too. That's where Headspace by Mia Santiago comes in. Treat yourself or someone who deserves it to a luxurious scalp treatment and a killer blowout or cut, because nothing says main character energy, honey, like a fresh style from celebrity stylist Mia and her team. And because we love a good deal, mention the Carrie Croft Show and get 20% off your service or any gift card for somebody in your life that you love. Headspace by Mia Santiago, because great hair days shouldn't be rare. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to unveil the actual brand.
Yes.
Like, it's going to be exciting. Okay, so we've talked about what I call like the left side, which is like the ooey gooey stuff, the alignment, the why, and it's so important and it cannot be rushed. But there's also a right side to this when you're starting a business, and it is the infrastructure. It's the stuff that isn't as fun for you. It's foreign to you. It's the systems, the processes, the strategy.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's so important, especially for the creatives out there who really have this like big vision for themselves, to be able to align with someone or something that can hold them accountable and to let all of this amazing stuff that is you and is your brand flow through in a rhythmic way that has cadence and strategy, and it all makes sense so you can get it out to the world. And that's what we're working on now. You know, so I feel like, again, we've uncovered a lot of different things that I think are really exciting. Will we do all of them? Maybe. Yeah. You know, but the important thing now is to zoom back in. So we've zoomed out, right? We have gone as wide as we can go.
Yeah.
Now
that's a good way of putting it.
We need to zoom in though now to that pin on the map. And all that really matters is that we start. Because I feel like every single thing we've put on this table is aligned. Yeah. It's meaningful. and it could make sense.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 100%.
But I like this idea of the retreat, people who you know, being kind of that first soft launch. We have the brand kit, which is like 98% done. It'll be 100% done like next week. And we make that special. And that's when you start that ripple.
Yeah.
But in a very authentic Meghan type way.
Yeah.
And then we go.
And I think that was one of the things that, and still is, like super duper important to me, that's hard to do, because you feel like when you're starting a business or starting anything for the first time, you kind of feel not always just at ease in yourself. And I think maybe that's like hard for me, because it's hard for me to commit, as you said, because I want it to be I want it to come from that very, very authentic, real place. When you put the word business or brand or entrepreneur behind it, you start to get a little like, that's not me. I just I'm not really any of those things. I just I want to be more like that, but that's not, those words are scary to me.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think you just don't worry so much about the labels, because the two have to exist together. The left side and the right side have to exist together. And you see a lot of this stuff like soft feminine leadership versus the traditional, like there's a lot of those conversations happening in today's world. And my point of view on that is, like, you can be a Meghan Goodman and lead, right? But you also have to have the right side, which is the infrastructure and the systems and the processes. And the reality is you're never going to geek out over that.
Yeah.
And so you need, if you want to reach the people, here's how I think it could resonate with someone like you. Instead of thinking of it as this business speak and this real, it's like, no, if I want to reach the amount of Meghans, who I was, if I want to get to those people, I have to have this type of somewhat, you know, structure or something in place, so I can continue down this path to get to them.
Yes.
Right? So the end justifies the means. You don't necessarily have to love the interworkings of, you know, the business side of things. And you can also run and have a brand and a business that is very kind, that is very giving and loving, but you cannot avoid the trappings of the mundane, the HR, the, you know, how is this going to get out to market? How are you going to do it? It's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why you have a good support system and trust in other people to help. You know?
Yes.
And this is a perfect softball and segue for what we were talking about last week.
Yes.
You finding.
Yeah, I really do think, you know, when I started my business during COVID, it was really just me and my ideas. And I kind of took a hobby and a passion of mine. I like to stay busy, using my hands and kind of using my creativity. And I decided to start making them for my friends and family. They were bracelets, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And it became a business that I never intended it to actually be. It was really just something I did for fun during COVID, stuck at home, staying busy. And I quickly learned from that experience that had I had kind of more of that right side of my brain dialed in, or somebody else who was stronger in that area, that maybe the brand and business would have been more sustainable for me. But really, it was very difficult for me to balance both of those with kind of zero training. I'm still protective of that business, and that's why I wanted to hold on to it. But I was not very successful in the running of it side. And creativity for days, but I needed somebody to help me with the logistics. And my husband was really busy with his own stuff and his own work, and just didn't have the time to help me with that side of things. And I didn't really know who to turn to. And so I'm learning through this process with you that I'm probably going to need somebody there that fills that void in my own.
Yeah. So
mind.
we are looking. So do you know there is a Bumble for business partners? I've discovered. So I did a little, you know, and there is a actual app for people to meet and be business partners. But we're not doing that. We're putting a call out into the universe that there could be someone out there that would be the perfect match for you and this brand that we're building, which is a modern, I don't want to call it Martha Stewart, but it's a modern twist on the trad wife-ish Martha Stewart wrapped in like a very old school. It's really, really great. It's soulful, it's meaningful. And so we need to find, or we want to find, sort of the yin to your yang, the person who geeks out on infrastructure, timelines, operations, all that stuff. And they're like, oh, great, you're taking a truck out to Granville today to sell all your shit? Cool. And they're worried about the logistics and all that.
Yeah.
So you guys just fit right into the groove. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, well, shit, 'tis me, 'tis I, it is me. Send us a DM and then we will, we'll do the first date's coffee or FaceTime and then we'll see where it goes. But this is a very interesting opportunity for someone to get involved in a very cool brand, meaningful brand. So jump on the clue bus, y'all. If you're in, DM.
Yeah, DM.
Let the thumbs start moving, right?
Yeah, it is. You said, oh, you're a trad wife. And I'm like, what the heck's a trad wife? I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
And then when we talked about it a little bit and I'm like, yeah, I kind of am. Like there's a little part of me that is, but there's also parts of me that are other things too. And so we just took all of those other things and we're kind of smashing them together into one idea and making it very niche-y, which is kind of cool, but kind of not niche-y too. And just, I don't know.
It's so good.
I think it's going to be.
It's everything for me to not. I was like, Kate, should we say the name today? And she was like, I'm like, no, you're right. We're going to keep it behind the curtain. Make sure that shit's all trademarked and tight.
I know. We don't need anyone.
Because nobody's trademarked that shit yet. No, it's so. And then I can't wait to kind of unveil too more details around how we came to the name. And like, I just got to give us some props for that because
one of the things that drew me to you so much was I would listen to your podcast and just, of course, I loved all the guests and really got connected to them and also, but I wanted in different ways. But I really wanted to know you. Like, I'm like, okay, how is she thinking? How does she make people feel comfortable? How does she do all of these things that are difficult for me? And so I really kind of was like dissecting you in a sense. That's why I was so interested in listening to you. And because I felt like I was getting to know you and how you operate, you also were doing the same with me. And it just made it easy, you know?
And so on a side note, I'm going to tell because this is so funny. So last meeting, you walk in, you sit down and you're like, have you been watching The Hunting Wives? And I'm like, well, I have in fact been. She's like, is that us? I'm like, I actually think it is us.
It is.
I mean, in the part in the car where Margot is, I mean, I can like, when she has her in the truck and she's having her do the donuts, that's exactly what has happened here.
Exactly.
It's so great.
It's like you're us? Like my little mother hen in a sense where you're like, yep, you want to do it? We're going to do it. Yeah. And you're just like such a push that I needed. And you're bringing out so many like awesome things in my life.
Yeah, and you've taught me a lot too, just so you know. Oh. And there's always that, right? Yeah. There's always, we all learn from each other. And it's just been so great. I never want it to end. Okay, and so another thing too for people to know about the B Lab, if you want the exposure and the amplification, I think it makes sense to have behind the scenes progress. I want to show people, I want to leverage my network. I want this to be a very workshopy, fluid, real-time thing that adds actual value where like, you look at the end of this and go, okay, I paid X for this, but I literally got 10X from just that. Like, so I want this to be very impactful. And I do think if you're at home and you're just like, think some things are stirring up in you, the one thing I'm going to tell you is like, go get coaching. Like go find someone 100%. Who you trust that's really going to dig in with you, spend the money, invest in it, make sure it's right.
Right.
But it's so worth it because what you're going to learn and what you're going to get, you're just going to get outside of yourself and your own thought process. How great does that sound?
I know. And that's exactly what this B Lab experience has done for me is that it's taken me from my comfort zone and pushed me a little out of that. And in a still comforting way that feels right for me. But I learned, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I've grown so much personally, and I really just, from my background, which I won't, go into all that, but I really needed to like learn a lot about me and be pushed, because I have never really done that. I mean, yes, I started a business during COVID, but I still don't know a thing about running a business.
So, okay, more to come from Meghan. You have not seen the last of this lady, okay? And so a couple things to recap. We are going to unveil her brand at some point on the show. I cannot wait for everyone to see what it is, because it's, if anything is you, it's that. If you are out there and you think you might be a good fit for this situation, please, seriously, DM or send an email to Carrie@thecarriecrofftshow.com, or actually we're going to do info@theblab.co. We got the blab.co now, not .co for company.
I love it.
And then if you're interested in a 15-minute call with me, we have just put some new dates up in September and October. So go to my bio on Instagram, set up a 15-minute call, and let's just chat. And if it's a fit, we'll know. And if it's not, I'm the first one to tell you.
Yes.
But I can also either give you a little pep talk or give you someone I know. I mean, you'll learn, you'll get something out of the call. And it's so funny. People are like nervous to get on the call. Like you were like, I hope someday. I'm like, no, get on the call. Let's talk. I wouldn't, if I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't offer it. So so much more to come with the
B-Lab. And a little side note too, just to make everyone feel at ease, is that even you're such a good resource. You know everybody. And I knew that if you weren't going to be able to help me, that you were going to at least give me a little push into the direction of somebody who could. And so even if you're not going to be able to help somebody, I know that you'll be able to give them really good advice.
Yeah, you'll get something out of it, right? So just step up to the plate, schedule a call, and we'll see what happens. There could be some magic there, baby. Meghan, thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
You are the best.
No, you are.
So much more to come. No, you are.
No.
No, I love you.
I love you too.
And if you're still out there following your girl, follow me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, more to come about the B-Lab. Schedule a 15-minute call and just get real excited about Meghan's brand, because it's so fucking good. And keep moving, baby.